Some stars of a popular auction show took a break at Kelly and never returned to your screens, leaving fans wondering what really happened to them. Do you still remember Storage Wars? It was one of the most popular TV series that reshaped how many people viewed reality television. The fast-talking auctioneers, the thrill of the bids, and the excitement of uncovering treasures hidden away in storage lockers made it a cultural phenomenon. 500. Go ahead. 5.5. 550. I got 500 here. 5.5. 550. Those lines still echo in the minds of fans who tuned in religiously. But have you ever wondered what happened to the cast members who took a break and never returned to your screen? Join us as we explore the real-life stories of Storage Wars favorites whose departures came with tales of personal battles, life changes, and unexpected twists. Barry Weiss, one of the earliest and most beloved stars of Storage Wars, quickly became a fan favorite not because he was the richest or the toughest, but because he brought unmatched style to the show with his vintage gloves, classic cars, and laid-back charm. For Barry, bidding on lockers was never just about profit. It was about the thrill of finding forgotten gems and enjoying the ride. He could spend more time talking about the history of a jukebox than haggling over its resale value, and viewers adored that about him. After just 4 seasons, Barry quietly stepped away from the show, much like someone closing a favorite book and deciding to live out the next chapter privately. Fans assumed he had returned to his passions for cars, antiques, and adventures away from the cameras. But in 2019, Barry's life took a sharp turn when he was involved in a devastating motorcycle crash in Los Angeles, leaving him with severe chest and leg injuries, multiple broken bones, and internal damage. Several surgeries and a long recovery followed. The man who once lit up every episode now faced the challenge of learning to walk again without pain. Though Barry returned to TV in small appearances, his pace was different, and he never came back as a regular. Dave Hester was a different kind of personality altogether. From the first auction, it was clear Dave wasn't there to make friends. Bold, loud, and unapologetically competitive, he quickly carved out a unique role, not as the hero, but as the rival everyone loved to root against. With his famous catchphrase and sharp instincts, Dave was relentless in his pursuit of winning lockers, often outbidding competitors by just $1. For him, the profit was important, but the real victory was in proving he was the smartest buyer in the room. However, in 2018, Dave's life was upended when he suffered a serious stroke in the middle of the night. It affected his speech and coordination, requiring emergency care and extensive rehabilitation. While other cast members continued to battle it out on screen, Dave was fighting to recover his health. Slowly but surely, he made progress and returned to work in the auction world, but Storage Wars was no longer his main focus. Ivy Calvin, known as the King of Palmdale, joined Storage Wars with the confidence of someone who had already lived several exciting lives. A former professional arena football player and mixed martial artist, Ivy had a knack for spotting valuable lockers before anyone else. He was fiercely proud of his resale store, Grandma's Attic, and his role as a father. Over time, however, fans noticed he was appearing less and less. Ivy had begun focusing more on his family and dealing with personal health concerns behind the scenes. His later appearances often featured his sons, passing on his skills to the next generation. Ivy's shift was a quiet one, but it spoke volumes. He chose family over the constant grind of auctions, proving that sometimes the greatest treasures are found at home. Darrell Sheets, nicknamed the Gambler, was known for his bold risks and big wins. His energy made fans believe there was always something amazing behind the next locker door. Often accompanied by his son Brandon, Darrell's story was as much about legacy as it was about profit. But in early 2019, he suffered a massive heart attack that forced him to step away from the show. For a man built on adrenaline, slowing down was one of the toughest challenges he ever faced. His absence was felt deeply by fans who had followed him from the very beginning, but his departure served as a stark reminder of how quickly life can change. Dan and Laura Dodson, the husband and wife auctioneer duo, were the heartbeat of Storage Wars. Their lightning-fast chants and warm personalities kept the show running smoothly. They weren't there for drama, they were there to keep the auctions moving. But in 2014, their world was shaken when Dan woke up one morning with double vision and collapsed shortly after. He had suffered a serious brain condition that required immediate surgery. The recovery was long and painful, but the couple's resilience and partnership shone through, reinforcing why they were so beloved by viewers. Brandy Passante and Jared Schulz brought a fiery, often comedic dynamic to the series, Brandy being sharp and focused, and Jared impulsive and bold. But off-screen, their relationship began to crumble, and by 2020, the two had quietly separated. Brandy later described the split as painful and complicated. Both made sporadic appearances afterward, but their once iconic chemistry was gone. Brandy focused on raising her children, while Jared stepped back from the spotlight. Renee and Casey Nejota entered Storage Wars as a strong team, with Renee's larger-than-life personality and Casey's grounded approach. But in 2023, Renee's father passed away after a short battle with lung cancer, deeply affecting him. Though they continued working in the resale business, their focus shifted toward building a legacy with more meaning and purpose. Mary Padian, first introduced in the Storage Wars, Texas spin-off, charmed fans with her quirky eye for hidden treasures. Over time, her appearances on the main show dwindled as she shifted her attention to her online store and independent collecting. While she left the noise of auctions behind, she never stopped being herself, a reminder that stepping away doesn't mean losing your passion. Emily Wares, who joined the show in Season 10, was a young but already accomplished auctioneer. Her time on Storage Wars was brief, but her speed and professionalism stood out. She later married, started a family, and pursued singing, choosing peace over the constant chase of television fame. And then there was Kenny Crossley, the Southern charmer whose humor and lightheartedness made him a fan favorite. Over time, he appeared less frequently, focusing instead on his personal business ventures. Even years later, fans still search for updates on him, proving the lasting impact of his personality. In the end, the reasons for leaving varied. Some cast members stepped away by choice, others due to health, personal loss, or life changes. What they all shared was the ability to connect with viewers beyond the lockers and the bids. Their legacies on the show weren't just measured in profits, but in the moments they made fans feel something: laughter, suspense, nostalgia, or inspiration. Which of these stories surprised you the most? Do you think Storage Wars could ever feel the same without them? And if you could say one thing to your favorite former cast member, what would it be? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. Before you go, click the next video on your screen for another fascinating look behind the scenes.